Hello, this is Steve from Vito's Leatherworks. And today's project is this very cool Bible cover. Now this thing's got to be, I'm guessing, about 40 years old. Okay. Get it closer so you can see it. It's all hand carved. Stitching on the sides are all hand done. But unfortunately, it's seen its better days. Now, it is possible to duplicate it like this, but the customer and I chose to go a different route. So the only thing I'm going to be able to salvage from this is going to be this front cover right here, and then this back piece right here. Basically, we're going to remake it and have this inlaid into the front cover and the back cover. Alright, let's get started. This is going to be a pretty cool project. Now, the son is giving this to his father for Father's Day. Now, this is his father's, obviously. His dad's had this for many, many years, and because it was broken and torn and damaged, he wasn't using it. So the son contacted me and said, would you be willing to make him one? I'm like, yeah, of course. So basically we're gonna get this done before Father's Day. Now Father's Day is coming up in about a week. By the time we finalized everything and got the idea what to do and how to do it, and took a little bit of time. So I've had it for maybe about 2-3 weeks now once we finalized everything. So it's time that we'll get it done, send it to him, and give it to him for Father's Day. Now, with this, basically, we're going to take lots of measurements, right? You know, the height, the length, the depth, the thickness, how high it should be when it's closed, the spine size. So, it just takes a lot of planning to do beforehand. Now, the finished item is already done in my head, and I know what it's going to look like because I thought about it a lot before I even touched it. So I think that this is going to look real good once we get done with it. It's going to be a dark brown leather. We're still going to have a red inside, but it's going to be suede. This is just felt. So everything's going to be leather inside and out, so it's going to look nice. All right, let's continue. We're going to salvage whatever we can from this. Show the most important parts, front and back. Now I spoke to the customer in regards to getting some sort of a reaction from his dad, videotape recorded on the phone. Now, I don't know, he said he would, absolutely, he said no problem, but you know, I wanna be able to incorporate that into my video. So this isn't going to be uploaded till after Father's Day. So hopefully I'll get it right after that, as soon as he gets the video taped. Then I can upload it to my video here and upload it to you guys. This is very cool. I like projects like this. It has lots of meanings. Well, not that the other ones don't, but this is kind of cool, where the son is kind of gifting his father with a surprise, and he has no idea that he's going to get it. I can't wait to see his reaction. Now, this is a pretty heavy leather. Look at that thing. It's got to be 4 or 5 ounces. And you know, the piece I'm going to put on is going to be, it's going to have some weight to it too, so this is going to be pretty thick cover. It's going to be durable, that's for sure. Now all this felt is going to come off. Now it's not coming off, as you can see, in pieces. I'm going to sand this off when I get a chance. That's the only way I'm going to get all that felt off there. this is a very cool job. It says handcrafted by Lynette Spikes. Not sure where Lynette Spikes is, but it has a little stamp in the back. So shout out to Lynette Spikes, whoever made this this cover for this customer. Now we got to be careful with this thing, because you know, if it gets messed up, then we're kind of stuck, you know. So now often I speed things up because you don't really want to watch the paint dry. But there's a couple of customers, or viewers I should say, not customers, said that, hey, they love watching paint dry. I'm like, all right. So I'm going to do this in regular time. I'm still going to speed up a couple things, but I'll do it in regular time as much as I can. Cool. Alright. Come on now, this thing is really made well. Man, it is in pieces, isn't it? What do we got here? Let's see what this is. Oh, it is so fragile. Something about Christian. Oh man, this is stuck together. Christian, a person who can't make out the rest. It's all torn up. Wish I could save that. It would be kind of cool, you know. All right, here goes nothing. Oh, what I'm going to do here first, I'm going to put some conditioners on this to soften this up, just to kind of give it some oils back into it, because it's been a long time since it's seen some moisturizer. All right, let's continue. This is a bell skiver. Basically, skiver is it cuts the leather, thins it out. You see how you got the corners right there? Because it's so thick, I'm trying to make it a little bit thinner. So slowly, gradually, I'm thinning it out. So this way, when the other piece comes on top of it, the edges don't look so thick. All right, let's continue. So we took the felt off, skived the edges as thin as I could. Now it's still pretty thick, but the problem is the thinner I make it, I get the chance of, you know, getting that piece separated, because this has a pretty deep groove in there, right there on the edge. So what we're going to do, we're going to get well, I conditioned the surface of this too, by the way. We're going to get cardstock, which is basically heavy cardboard. Okay, I've glued two of them together. So basically, when this has come right on the edge here, this surface is pretty much even right here. The leather is still a little high, but I think it'll be okay. What we're going to do, we're going to open up a window on this cardstock. We're going to lay this one right inside, okay? And then when we bring the leather top cover, we'll still have an opening on the leather piece. It'll basically come right on the lines right here of that. And once it lays down, you're not going to feel this, you're not going to feel or see this ridge right here of the leather. So that way it's kind of smooth all the way to the edge, and it'll look much nicer this way. All right, let's continue. So I glued two of the cardstocks together, and then the third one I stapled it. okay? Because what's going to happen is that we have to cut them all the same size. So keeping them together, staple that one, the single one with the double, and then I cut the exact same shape. Okay, 7.5 by 11.25. And what we're going to do now, we're going to round off the corners. So I figure that once it's rounded off, it's cut off, the two layers can be removed. We can open a window. And then once everything's said and done, when you bring the two pieces together, the single and the double layer together, it'll be exactly same shape. So this way, that's how we keep it together with the staple them together basically, so they don't move. So now I'm just going to do the corners. Usually I find something round. This can, for example, very similar to what they have originally. Okay? I mean, some people use templates and stuff like that, but I tend to make do with whatever I have. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, even though I'm pretty accurate with the knife. I can sand that a little bit better. So after I cut it, I'm going to sand it to give it that nice curve. Now, this is actually, whatever I'm doing is multiplied by twice, because one's the front, one's the back. Okay. All right, that's that. All right, let's continue. All right, so let me show you guys what I'm doing. So we got the cover. This is the main cover basically, right? You got the picture windows open. Now, originally I was going to put a thin border around here to make the height of this leather kind of slowly, to 0. But it didn't work out because the opening here was too, from this point to this point, it was too narrow on the side. So I couldn't put that heavy cardboard that I showed you guys earlier that I cut out. So what I did was I thinned this out as much as I can, okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to glue these to the piece of leather, okay, on both sides. And then put a spine in the middle, okay? You guys see this? And once this is glued on, I'm going to hem the edges here. You see like that? So what's going to happen is that when you see from the top, and this comes on like that, it'll look really nice. It will be a nice finish here. It won't be a raw edge like that, okay? So once I go ahead and glue this in here, okay, and hem that, then I can go ahead and glue these in place. Now this took me a little bit longer to do because initially I had thought that I wanted to do a certain way, and it just didn't work out. So I kind of had to start all over in my head, which is half the job itself, because sometimes it takes longer to think about what you're going to do and rather than just do it. So I think it'll work out much better this way. All right, let's continue. All right, it's coming along slowly but surely. So we've got the inlays in already, right? And you guys can kind of see how it's taking shape. Now, this particular one was a little bit larger than this one, okay? Now I had to make the openings the same front and back. So, and this one fit perfectly right around the edges of the pattern. However, this one, if you take a look, you see how you see the corners a little bit there? I could have made this opening slightly smaller, but I wanted to kind of keep it symmetrical, you know. I think it'll be okay. I mean, you see these lines right there? So this was made a little smaller than this one. That's okay, it's handmade. I mean, you're going to have a little bit of, I mean, I shouldn't say imperfections, but a little bit of, you know, differences front and back. So it's no problem. I think it'll be okay. Now we're going to go ahead and stitch this on here, okay? We're going to turn the edges, hem the edges. Then we're going to start working on the interior. All right, let's continue. Okay. So instead of overlapping that stitch right there, we'll pull it underneath and we'll tie this off together. We'll tie that off right there. That way when you visually look at it here, you can't tell where it started, where it finished. Alright, so we've got that stitched. I put a thin piece of batting right here, okay? So when the suede comes on top of it, you can't see all the imperfections and all the height differences from the old leather to the new leather to the you know, cardstock. So I think this will kind of keep it a little bit more on an even side. Now basically what we're going to do, we're going to cut out the red suede for the for the inside lining, and this is a rough cut. Basically the way it's going to work is let's put that aside. We're going to take the center piece, okay, which is that piece right there, okay. I'm going to put a piece of strip of dark brown right in the center, And then we're going to have the side pieces here. Okay. I don't think these are necessary. I don't think these were ever used because they're laying flat. So it looks like they never used it to put the book underneath it. However, we're going to somehow maybe put a centerpiece here to hold like a book divider type, that piece of like a string or something that'll keep the book in the middle. And then we're going to cut out a piece of leather for the sides of the zipper. We're going to attach everything onto the lining right here, okay? And then at the end, we'll go ahead and glue everything to the outside, stitch it all the way around, and we'll be done with this project. Yeah, I know, easier said than done. But slowly but surely, it's coming along good. All right, let's continue. All right, so we're making some progress. So this is basically the inside part, right? So let's see, where's that piece? All right. So we're going to go ahead and glue this piece down. This one is a little bit smaller than the actual case itself, because when I put this piece to the edge, I don't want to have the lining, this piece, and that piece all together, make it really thick on the edge. This will be glued maybe about a little less than 1/4 of an inch. And then when this comes to the edge like that, gets glued down, you'll only see that thin edge visible, and everything else will be underneath. So this is going to get glued down. We emboss his name here, okay? This is going to get glued down, and also this is going to get glued down. And then we're going to stitch it. But basically, I think we're done. Once we stitch it, we'll go ahead and touch it up a little bit here and there, clean it up, add some, like color around the edges if we have to, condition it one more time, and then we should be ready to go. All right, let's continue. All right, so we're almost done. I just thought about this actually when I was cleaning it up. Hang on, my brush fell. Hell, I would get lost on that floor. It's not dirty, but it's just, over time, it gets a little cluttery. Anyway, where was I? So we have Holy Bible, Rocky Blanchard. Now they used to be white, but they're not anymore. So I thought maybe, you know what? Might not be a bad idea to just kind of get some acrylic dye. I mean, it's not like I'm tired or anything. I've been at this for I don't know how many hours now. But look at the difference, man. It's going to pop. Look at that. Hold on, let me do the H again. I'm using the acrylic dye. Look at the difference. You see that H? That's going to look nice. Hell. I was going to say something, but it doesn't go good with the Holy Bible. Shouldn't say it now because I jinx myself probably and we'll get it on the rest of the letters. Oh, lordy, lordy, lord. So speaking of this Holy Bible, I belong to my church, Armenian church in Maryland. I'm a board member there, board of trustees. And past couple of weeks I've been really busy with them. We just bought a property in Potomac, Maryland to build a new church. Yeah, really cool, really excited. And we've been kind of busy with that, going back and forth. We just had the closing last week, so it kind of pulled me away from my business for a little bit. And now that the land is purchased, I think the hard work begins now. Now that it's purchased, we have to do, building, fundraising. Oh God, we need fundraising. We have some money, but always appreciate more from donors. So there's a big building on it now, which was a house back in the 30s. It was a huge house, like 7,500 square feet. So we're going to use that for about a couple of years, just to have meetings, Cub Scouts, and all that kind of stuff, until our plans kind of go through, and hopefully by then we'll have some money. So I've been busy doing that for, I don't know, a couple of months, and haven't been doing too many videos, but I got tons of projects online. So this I had to get out of the way, but won't be posting this till after Father's Day, because hopefully I'll have the customer's reaction. Oh my God, I hope. Well, the guy said he would, right? But he seems to be a nice guy. I don't see why he wouldn't, So I'm going to have that reaction at the end. So if I don't get it, I'm going to have to just kind of end the video on saying, all right, project is done, blah, 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 So anyway, so I'm going to continue this with the rest. You don't need to watch me do the rest of it. You get the idea. Got a little bit of between the E there. I mean, not too bad looking, huh? Look at that. I think it looks cool. All right, let's continue. So once the white letters were done, I was like, might as well do the black background. So the black background got done. So it turned out pretty good. Now remember, I told you guys I was going to eliminate these straps. I changed my mind. I'm on why not keep the design, the style of it the same. If it's working, don't change it. Leave it alone. So we got the name embossed down there. These basically, what happens is that the book comes in, the back cover slides right through there, right through here, and then you close it up. I think it turned out pretty good. I hope the customer will be happy. All right. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Any comments, shares you want to do, you're welcome to. This job was $600. And I guess it took me, let's see, it's 11:24 p.m. About 6 hours, I would say. I started about 5:30. I took a little break, maybe 5 hours. Went to grab a bite to eat and had some coffee. About a 5-hour project. It's not too bad. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it, and I can't wait to see the customer's reaction when they receive it for Father's Day. All right, thanks for joining me. We'll see you again. Take care.
So, I got you something for Father's Day. It's a little late. Here you go.
Thank you, son.
Isa.
Who did? Who did it?
Got it done from a guy online.
Really?
Yeah.
beautiful. But that's beautiful. Gotta get my Bible put in there now. You're gonna have to show me how to do that, so I don't mess up that other Bible.